Today, we are putting celebrity cookware to the test. We're giving them to two chefs to try them, review them, and see whether the celebrity name actually holds up to making a decent product. Boys, lift the cloche on number one.
Don't worry about this. This is where we either make friends or enemies.
Do you think the sorted cookware is going to be under one of them?
Nope, but we're starting off with Jo. A quick and easy way to chop herbs.
This is very Jo.
So this is the Jamie Oliver Mezzaluna knife and board. Jamie Oliver, you probably have heard of him. British TV chef, presenter, cookbook writer and campaigner from Essex in England, but has a lot of experience and knowledge in Italian cooking, mainly coming from his friend and mentor, Gennaro.
If you don't know him, he sounds a bit like this.
Hi guys, I'm Jamie Oliver and I'm doing a new channel on YouTube called FoodTube. You're gonna love it.
So they say that you can prepare your food and herbs with ease using the Jamie Oliver Mezzaluna and board. The stylish and practical board is made from acacia wood and curved for ease of use with the rounded Mezzaluna. Are you used to using Mezzalunas?
No. Have you ever used one?
No.
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 Interesting. What do you understand the advantages of them being?
This is very Nonna-esque and perhaps less chefy. I don't think I've personally ever seen a chef prefer one of these. I could be completely wrong because I think the knife is more universal, two hands, away you go. But this leans into, I think, tradition and kind of Nonna style of cooking.
Yeah, maybe you don't need quite as fine knife skills to get a really good result for something like a gremolata. Oh, it's smaller than I thought it would be.
You thought that was going to go right down here.
I thought it was going to be huge.
So we've got you a whole bunch of herbs, parsley, mint, coriander, and some garlic. We thought maybe you could make a little dressing for
That
us.
sounds easy.
So Mezzaluna knives are mostly used for chopping and mincing herbs, garlic, onions, nuts, sometimes meats and veg. The curved blade means that you can do it in a rocking motion, which makes chopping easier, faster and more controlled and potentially safer during repetitive chopping tasks.
Which I think when you think about knife work, there are a couple of ways of doing it, but you kind of rock through there, but generally the knife wouldn't leave the board, the tip of the knife, or hand on top of the knife and just that rocking motion, which I do use regularly, but then again, I think that's why, as a chef, a knife is probably more commonplace than this approach.
How comfortable is it, James, to use?
I feel like it's a grower. It might take a bit of getting used to. I think two hands is easier.
So supposedly Mezzaluna knives reduce the strain on wrists and hands, which makes them better for use with people who have issues with dexterity and strength.
And actually, because of the sort of dip in here, you actually almost get more cutting surface area.
Yeah, it becomes nicer as you break the herbs down. I actually think
blade of a
if you're
knife.
breaking the herbs down, it's quite nice to just chop through them a little bit, like an up and down.
Yeah, you can absolutely
And then-
do that as well.
Yeah.
What, if anything, do you think the Jamie Oliver name is adding to the product?
Cost.
Cost. Okay, yeah.
Increasing the price,
Yeah.
or on a scale that means that he's able to do stuff that is less than other chefs maybe.
Increasing the price.
I think with any brand alignment, there's a leaning into consumer trust. Like, I grew up getting Jamie Oliver's cookbooks every year, and I knew they were simple and easy. I knew if you followed the recipes, they'd work, and you could always trust them. And I think there is an element of trust here.
What are your thoughts on the Mezzaluna?
I think it seems good. I've never tried one before, so I don't know exactly what we're looking for from a good one. Like whether the shape of the indent varies or the size of the blade.
The choice of wood.
Yeah, I don't know how they vary, but it seems to work pretty well. It probably allows the average person to get a finer cut of herbs.
And because your hand's here, it's safe.
Yeah.
You're not worrying about the claw and all the other things of where your other hand is going if it's both hands on.
Well, how much do you reckon we paid?
£25.
£32.
$19.99.
Oh, that's good.
Well, chefs, the Jamie Oliver Mezzaluna knife and board, is it absolutely pucker? Or does it just sucker?
He wouldn't have used those words for the last 20 or so years, but it is absolutely pucker.
It's quite pucker.
Lovely. Well, we're off to a great start. Let's move on to number 2. Righty, righty. Lift the cloche.
Whoa. No,
What's she doing with a pan?
That's incredible. Have you heard of this brand?
No.
I have. The celebrity part of it is
A curveball.
a curveball, but yeah, I think this is a pretty good brand, Lodge.
So chefs, this is the Dolly Parton skillet. Now I'm sure Dolly Parton needs no introduction, but American singer, songwriter, producer, author, actor, businesswoman, philanthropist, absolute goddess. She's primarily known for her country music. She's from Tennessee and she has created a skillet.
Are you a fan?
Love Dolly Parton.
The musical's great.
Thought you might.
You mentioned philanthropist. She does some phenomenal work with public libraries and all sorts in the US. She also puts in a theme park. Isn't there a Dolly Parton world?
How do you guys know so much about Dolly Parton?
I'm going to Dollywood.
In Tennessee?
Yes.
However, pans?
So Dolly's connection to cooking is said to stem from her upbringing in a large family, where food was central. She learned to cook from her mother and other family members, and she developed a love for Southern-style dishes. Probably no surprise. She's released various cookbooks.
I didn't know that either.
I'm surprised we've never cooked from one.
Have you turned the pan upside down?
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Another one that I just want to hang. I don't want to cook in, I just want to hang it up.
So what they say is, inspired by her music and the butterflies that have always symbolised Dolly's spirit, this special edition piece of cast iron will help you turn out classic dishes and create new traditions. Made with just iron, oil, and Tennessee spirit, the naturally seasoned cooking surface is born to perform for generations, so you'll never have to change your tune.
What I like about this is that I've heard of Lodge, specifically for cast iron pans.
Yep.
And
You've heard of
she
Dolly.
hasn't created something, she's just put her name to something that already exists.
So yeah, Lodge is a family-founded company back in 1896. It's still owned by the family today, and they are committed to protecting the environment as well as community development in the USA, or so they say. Their pans are made without PFAs, or forever chemicals, which don't break down in the environment for long periods and can have adverse effects on the environment. How about some crispy bacon, fried eggs, and waffles?
Sounds good.
Well, the good news is, chefs, the pan comes pre-seasoned with 100% natural vegetable oil.
Excellent.
She has donated a ton of money to libraries. She's put hundreds, if not thousands, of kids through college. Like, she is the epitome of, if you gave that person money, they're going to put it to good use.
And she still only works 9 to 5.
So this is the 12-inch skillet, but it's also available in a number of different sizes, as well as a mini guitar-shaped skillet and a 9 to 5 skillet clock.
I'm so glad you didn't give us a guitar-shaped skillet.
Damn sticky. Material science has never been my strong point, but when they say pre-seasoned and ready to go, I think consumer perception is that it's not going to do that, unless it comes with instructions. You're still going to have problems.
So James, you say you cook on cast iron and skillets a fair bit. What would you look for in a good cast iron pan?
Weight. I think that's a really nice size, actually. Mine are quite a lot smaller than that. I'd quite like one that size. But the nice thing about cast iron is there's not a lot to it. Like, it's one piece, and you're just looking for like good quality cast iron. And there's not a lot of other selling points, really. Like, there's no technology in it or anything. I think it's a nice way to cook.
As you dig in, give me your thoughts. What do you reckon?
I think James hit the nail on the head. I like the size of it, not least for the depth as well, because I think about other maybe chilies, smoky bean dishes, I think other kind of southern food, even if you were to do it and put your biscuits on top and put it through the oven, I feel like all of that kind of delicious southern food lends itself to not just that size for eggs and bacon, but also the depth for something that's really kind of family style. And going back to what it said on the front, like, it's all about families cooking together.
The reason everyone uses non-stick is because it's so easy. But I think this is superior, but you have to put a bit of effort in. And you do have to kind of learn how it works.
Understand,
Yeah.
Well, how much do you think we paid?
£90.
I was going to say, I know how much I'd be prepared to pay for a good cast iron skillet of that size. How much more does Dolly Parton's name add to that? I think a little bit less than that, but maybe 80 quid.
Boys, we paid $36.95 or £28.06.
What? Shipping must have cost more than that.
I think shipping costs more than that.
Yeah, I'm going to say the weight of that,
That feels really very, very reasonable.
surprisingly so.
Well, question on everybody's lips. Will you always love it? Or are you leaning towards no?
I'll always love it.
I think we're always going to love it. But when you remember that that's the fun bit on the back, it's going to be a member of your family for a long time.
Well, I'm glad you like the fun part. Let's move on to number 3. There is a cloche somewhere there, boys. Give it a lift.
It's your
A
turn.
number of items.
Oh, look. This is your kind of thing.
So this is multiple items from her range.
So this is Paris Hilton's bakeware, wine set and charcuterie board set. The ones we're going to focus on are the ones that we've unwrapped. We might just send the others back. Paris Hilton, American media personality, businesswoman, socialite.
Wow. Wait, have you broken that or is it magnetic?
Magnetic.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
So you can have different arrangements,
I thought you
James.
ripped it apart.
Any initial thoughts?
These are awful.
I don't disagree, but I do think that often cheese boards are lacking small utensils to cut different cheeses with. And you can throw 4 table knives at it, but it's not the same.
So Paris says, bring a glamorous touch to your kitchen and home with stylish and functional housewares by Paris Hilton. One look and you'll be saying, that's hot. Paris entered the cooking world when she brought out her Netflix show, Cooking with Paris, in 2021. Anyone watch that?
I missed that one.
You've missed it.
I did.
Inside we've got a bottle opener and a diamond-shaped wine stopper. What I like most about this is that it becomes
What do you like about this?
is the fact that it comes with a limited lifetime warranty. What does that mean? Is it either a lifetime warranty or not?
Well, Ebbers, keep your glass half full with Paris Hilton's insulated wine chiller set. Comes with everything you need to live your best life. A stainless steel insulated wine chiller, gold tone winged corkscrew with bottle opener, and a diamond-shaped wine stopper.
You've given us a screw cap for a bottle opener.
It's a really good point.
Great. Well,
Wine coolers exist, wine stoppers exist, bottle openers exist. As long as it's not a ridiculous price, I don't mind the fact that it's pink because you're buying it if that's what you want.
Well, let's move on to the charcuterie board. Renewable bamboo serving boards for serving up charcuterie favourites. So you've got 3 magnetic bamboo boards capable of multiple configurations and a 4-piece cheese tool set.
not a terrible idea.
I like bamboo chopping boards for the reasons you mentioned. Years and years and years ago, we had one of our own. It's fairly sturdy, it's fairly chunky, it's thick enough for it to be of note.
Shall we make?
Is this Kush's idea of whatever's left in the fridge we'll throw on a board?
So boys, we've got you a selection of charcuterie ingredients plus some fun sweet stuff. So Paris says that the spade knife, cheese spreader, cheese fork and chisel knife feature crystal-shaped handles and titanium-coated stainless steel blades to make them easy to use and bring some serious glam to food prep and serving.
Considering how tacky and toy-like they look, they are actually incredibly thin and sharp. As in, they for taking the nose off a brie or something, like that is, I would want something that perhaps doesn't have the same handle, but that kind of shape on any cheese board. You can just buy nicer ones.
Oh boys, you've got a lovely little charcuterie board there.
Haven't we? Look at this.
And we could bake ourselves a bunt.
Yep, so we bought a fluted cake tin. Obviously it's in the shape of a heart.
Some of it feels a bit cheap.
Okay.
Some of it feels like she's put her name to just some like really generic cheap stuff. This could perform well. The chopping board's kind of cool.
Well, let's talk money. How much do you think we paid? We can separate this out. So we've got the charcuterie board and serving set.
Could be 30 quid.
Let's say 20 quid.
We paid £23.68, $31.
Fine.
Not surprised by that.
Good.
Yeah.
And for the wine set,
10?
4 quid, pound, 5. Yeah, 10.
10?
double that, £20.32 or $26.75.
Doesn't feel like this has got the same as this.
Yeah, quite a lot.
And the bunting, how much do you reckon we pay for that?
28 quid.
15?
James, you're pretty much bang on. £15.18 or $19.99.
I feel like we've spent a lot of time focusing on Paris Hilton. And actually, if this was just a random pink bunting, and that was just a random pink wine chiller, then it's really just a case of, do you like what it looks like?
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter what's on it. And because she's not really, like, there's no visible price increase.
Well, the question that everybody's asking in the comments is the Paris Hilton cookware range, does it have you sliving? It's one of her catchphrases. Slaying and living. Sliving. Or, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, got it.
That's a good one. Or is that not hot?
It's neither. It's smack bang in the middle. I'm very meh about it.
I'd err towards sliving.
I love that we've made you say that. That's great.
I'd err towards sliving. That's the best sentence ever, isn't it?
Well, boys, I've got one more for you, and this one is hopefully a little bit special. Okay, boys, to finish you off, I think we're doing something a little bit special. Lift the cloche.
Well, I reckon that's it, mate.
That's a very pretty looking dish, isn't it? I kind of like it already.
I like the colour.
Is it heavy?
I'm presuming it's
Heavy enough.
Stanley's work.
It's what? Oh, Stan Lee.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm presuming it's Stanley's work.
Not Stan Lee.
No, not like Bruce Lee or Lee Kum Kee. I'm talking about Stanley.
Or Stan Lee.
Who's Stanley?
He's a very, very famous comic book creator.
It is Stanley Tucci's Dutch oven. Now, Stanley Tucci, acclaimed actor, director, producer, absolute zaddy. He's known for lots of very different versatile roles in both films and television, and I think in more recent times for his trips to Italy.
I also like Stanley Tucci's kitchen. And I've seen a couple of interviews where he has been in his own personal kitchen, and it is a place of beauty. And he says it's his like sanctuary. It's his place that he goes and just unwinds and cooks, and food is a part of that.
Inspired by vintage Italian pots passed down from Stanley's mother, the Dutch oven stands out with its solid, clean and functional handles and elegant teal exterior. The angled walls eliminate tight corners, promoting efficient stirring, while the cast aluminium design ensures rapid and even heating, eliminating hot spots and providing precise control over your culinary creations. Boys, you enjoy a Dutch oven?
Yes.
Good for all sorts, including baking.
I own a few Dutch ovens.
So Stanley's one is made in Italy. It's made in partnership with Green Pan, who are a Belgian cookware brand. They were founded in 2007 by lifelong friends Jan Helskens and Wim de Verman, with the aim of a new approach to how cookware is developed and manufactured.
Another example of if you're going to put your name to a product, you do need to find the right people, brand, materials, manufacturing that lives up to the standards you want. And not saying the best standards, but the standards that you're aiming for in your target market. And I would imagine, again, going back to trust, he's done that.
Would you like to cook one of Stanley's recipes?
Sure.
In his
Really?
Dutch oven? Oh yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes, please.
Going all out.
So what we've given you are all the ingredients to make Stanley Tucci's kale and white bean minestrone soup.
Genuinely, it's good. It's got this sort of non-stick coating. It's got a very even heat, as in it's bubbling evenly across. There's not hot spots. It's difficult to tell by just doing sofrito, but it looks pretty even. And it's got a good shape to it. It's nice and deep for what we want.
So actually on the non-stick coating, Green Pan are the first and only NSF certified ceramic non-stick coating.
I was going to mention the non-stick coating because that's probably the only thing about it that disappoints me slightly. I feel like if you're buying something this beautiful, you kind of want it to last forever. Mm-hmm. And non-stick will never last forever. It's a consumable.
What do you look for in a good Dutch oven?
Weight.
Which this has a fair amount, but not as heavy as like a cast iron version. It's got a weighty lid, which means that it's absolutely trapping everything in.
In terms of other elements that people have said that they look for in a good Dutch oven, thick and heavy walls. As you mentioned, Ben, tight-fitting lid. The one that I've got at home has got little spikes or bobbles on the underside of the lid. And the thing that it said in the marketing for that was that actually it means it's self-basting, so that the drips drip back off those little spikes back into the pan again. Much easier than a more flatter
I think I know what
roof.
you mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. Simple recipe because it's an all-in-one. All the stock's going in, all the bean in its juice, all the kale and the pasta. What you get in a pan material like this is really good heat conductivity, as in the heat moves and keeps pretty even. But that does mean that the handles are nearly as hot as the bottom. It's all gets,
actually?
I mean, like, I couldn't pick that up already.
Oh, wow. I thought they would, by the looks of it looks like they wouldn't do that.
Be careful.
So while kale and white bean minestrone soup has been bubbling away for a few minutes, we'll add in the tomatoes and then serve it up.
It's wonderful.
Buon appetito.
Such a hearty, delicious bowl of food. Beany goodness, kale, sofrito, pop of tomato, and the freshness from the herbs and garlic.
It cooked it very well.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's the thing, we're not really testing the recipe, we're testing the Dutch oven. I think, you know, that's quite a quick cook. And I think, like you mentioned before, stews and casseroles,
A good
and
ragu.
really long cooks would be perfect in a Dutch oven. But how do you think it performed?
I think it performed really well for this. I think the shape is good. I think the non-stick coating works in terms of making it really easy. I think, James, you made some very good points.
It's a very beautiful pot. Like it'll look really nice in your kitchen.
So how much do you reckon we paid for Stanley Tucci's Dutch oven?
I was going to say about 50.
I'm going to go double dolly, 72.
We paid £299 and 95 pence.
Oh, so this is a fashion range,
I had a feeling
not a
that was coming.
cookware range.
Wow, £300. That's
£300.
wild.
It's a great pan. Is it that good? No, what you're buying is the fact you've got Tucci's cookware in your kitchen. Nothing wrong with that.
Is any pan £300 good?
For reference, a Le Creuset Dutch oven pan, which I think are renowned for being very good quality, is about half that.
I still like it, but not at that price.
Well, there's only one question left to ask. The Stanley Tucci Dutch oven, is it a Tucci of genius? Or does the devil just wear
Was he in The Devil Wears Prada?
I presume so.
Yeah. The devil thing.
Yeah,
pretty much the devil.
What a way to end. Well, over to you in the comments. Let us know, what do you think of those celeb cookware products, and what other celebrity products should we be reviewing in the future?